A little bit. Good afternoon. Welcome to the third annual International Business Case Competition hosted by San Diego State University. My name is John Putman. I am the Director of the International Business Program, and we are glad to welcome all of you to this special event. What we're going to see over the next about hour and a half or so are four really good teams proving themselves this morning in a first round of competition. I want to thank several people. First of all, MaxiNet, the company that is sponsoring our event this year. And we have some of the judges from this morning here also, and some of their guests. I also want to thank San Diego State University Cyber for co-sponsoring the case competition, as well as the Consortium for International Undergraduate Business Education, or QUIBI, and many QUIBI members are here right now. We hosted a conference this weekend as we celebrate the 30th anniversary of San Diego State University's International Business Program. So I'm going to hand this off to Elena Salsitz. She'll be our moderator for the four finalists. We do ask that nobody get up and leave during the middle of a presentation, and that you turn off your phones or silence your phones. We want to give the students the best experience they can have. And then there'll be time between teams if you need to get up and if you have to leave, but we're not going to have much time. There'll be only like about a 4 or 5 minute break between the teams. All right, so thank you very much for coming. I hope you enjoy this, and let me turn it over to Elena.
Thank you. Can you all hear me? Okay, great. First of all, thank you all for being here. I'd like to also congratulate the teams that have made it to this final, and also thank our powerhouse panel of judges. We're very lucky to have all of you. And it's my great pleasure, it's the best part of my job, to introduce our first team today, which is Curious Creators. So may I invite you to the stage. And you'll have about a minute to prepare and then get started.
Oh, great. There we go.
Good afternoon. My name is Thomas Gilbert, and I'm joined by Lauren Rasmussen, Cole Harris, and Tram Nguyen, and together we are the Curious Creators. And today we are going to tell you why MaxiNet should partner with a new discounted diaper, Pura, to create a non-leaking path to expansion, just like our diapers. All right, so our recommendation is the situation was for us to figure out the marketing strategy, entry strategy, and business model for MaxiNet to enter the Venezuelan market. What we recommend is to partner with Kimberly-Clark, the producer of Huggies, to create a discounted diaper extension. How we'll do this is by gaining funding from NGOs and donations from Kimberly-Clark. That way we can subsidize the cost of the diapers and make them more affordable for the Venezuelans. When we'll do this is beginning in 2020, looking to gain a majority market share by the end of the year, and from then on expanding across Latin America. And why MaxiNet should do this is because you can earn $12 million in sales, increasing global presence, and create a sustainable impact in a struggling state. So looking at Venezuela, a lot is going on right now, and it's not very stable due to political, economic, and social crises, due to corrupt government, high poverty rates, maternal rates, power outages, price ceilings leading to intense product shortages, and then refusal of aid. All these creates a very unstable environment, and we need to keep these in mind as we create our strategy for entering the markets. But let me tell you, MaxiNet is the right person for the job. While Venezuela might be difficult, MaxiNet has experience with these markets. Our mission is to become the best distributor company in the world. And the only way you can do this is by entering these challenging markets like Venezuela. We do it through our brand representation and exclusivity, and with our high volume, low margin strategy. Our advantage is with our experience in Latin American markets, representing over 12 consumer packaged brands already, and then our centralized regional management, taking the responsibility away from the producer and being their full representative in these international markets. So the product that we recommend is Pura, a discounted line extension of Kimberly-Clark. Currently, Kimberly-Clark has Huggies, but with this discounted diaper, it will add more affordability for the struggling Venezuelans, as well as be more accessible using our distribution system to fill shelves across the country. Our pricing would be $10 per package, which is about 100 bolivars, and we will operate at an 18% margin. And then the features of this product is to keep it as basic as possible, still maintaining quality so that it's discounted for both us and our buyers, as well as biodegradable. We do not want to add to any environmental issues in Venezuela. So why should we partner with Kimberly-Clark, and why would they choose us? If you know, Kimberly-Clark left Venezuela in 2016 due to lack of supplies, but we can get them back with the thrill of competition. Looking historically, when they left, they had 41% market share and were beating their competitor P&G, who had 38%. Additionally, Huggies is currently stuck in the middle right now in the diaper market between premium and discounted diapers. The big leader right now is Luvs. They're a discounted diaper of P&G, and they're stealing market share from both Huggies and Pampers. We think by offering a discounted diaper, then they can really start stealing market share from P&G. They could use Venezuela as a launching pad to try out their new discounted diaper and launch into the rest of Latin America with the goal of more market share. So now Lauren's going to talk about how we're going to implement that idea.
Wonderful. So now that we know a little bit more about the product that we will be selling, let's go into the implementation process of this product. So to start, we're going to need the funds to fundraise since this is a socially responsible act. We are hoping to be fundraised by Kimberly-Clark as well as with nonprofits such as UNICEF and Pan America Development Foundation. Next, once we get these funds, we'll be able to distribute, and we are focusing on distributing in both supermarkets and hospitals and clinics. And then once we're able to distribute via these channels, we hope to impact the Venezuelan people as a whole and impact a majority. That way, we'll be able to empower the Venezuelan people as well as reduce these black market diapers. So going into specifically the financing for these diapers. Specifically, the COGS of our biodegradable diapers will be coming from Kimberly-Clark. They have a stake in this because they need market research for these new low-cost diapers, as well as they need to see how they would perform in Latin America going in again after they failed and pulled out. So we'll be providing them market research and also an opportunity to expand their brand. And that way, we hope that either they will be donating these diapers in full, or as in our profitability model, you'll see that we are taking the costs and absorbing the costs of a regular diaper, and they will be absorbing the costs of the difference between a regular diaper cost and the biodegradable diaper cost. Then we will also be getting funding from nonprofits such as UNICEF and Pan American Development Foundation, and they will be providing the funds for our promotional budget as well as our shipping. So we chose UNICEF because they have a stake in the health and well-being of children all over the world, and Venezuela is a drain right now because children need diapers, and that should be a bare minimum. Additionally, Pan American Development Foundation is involved in the development of all Americas, and Venezuela is also a drain, and South America especially needs some help, so they'll be interested in funding us as well. Now to talk a little bit more about the distribution channels, we are going to start with going into the grocery stores. And this is where partnering with Kimberly-Clark will again help us because they already have relationships with different supermarkets, such as Mercado, Auto Mercado, and Mercado Libre. So we will get to partner with these and get an easy in, whereas other companies might have to spend time developing those relationships, and we'll just get an automatic in. Additionally, we'll be supplying through hospitals and clinics, developing relationships with the mothers that walk into these clinics in their prenatal stages. They'll be getting opportunities to learn about diapers, but also learn about other feminine products that they should be using for their health and well-being as well. All right, so to move on from there, we know that there are a lot of legalities that we need to be mentioning, especially aid restrictions. That has been keeping nonprofits out of Venezuela for a while. So to circumvent this, we are taking on a Goodwill donation station model. This is where we are accepting donations from both Kimberly-Clark as well as these nonprofits, and then funneling this through our for-profit business to make a profit in Venezuela, but also allow ourselves to help the Venezuelan people. Additionally, President Trump passed an executive order last year, making sure that we American citizens and companies would not be able to have accounts receivable, which can affect a lot of American companies. So by looking at that, we know that we need to gather all of our payment up front, and that is something we will talk about in a bit as well. So moving on to our profitability, our profit model shows that we will be profitable from year 1 all the way up to year 12 with a growth. And this is all because of our partnerships with Kimberly-Clark. It's really important, and if Kimberly-Clark were to donate fully these diapers, then our profit margins would just go up further. And this ends with a $1.2 million valuation of profit in year 12, and this would only go up if we were expanding to other markets such as Peru and Ecuador. Next, Tram will be talking about the positioning of our product.
Thanks, Lauren. So in order to achieve that profitability, we need a really strong brand positioning and marketing strategy. So we offer a 3-level value proposition model. The first level of the model is that we're offering a low-cost and high-quantity product that consumers can find easily in supermarkets or hospitals, not having to get in line in supermarkets or go to black markets and get them with super, super high prices. The second level of the model is that we're offering products partnered with a really trusted brand. So as Thomas mentioned, in 2015, Kimberly-Clark had a 41% market share in the Venezuelan market, and they already had existing relationships with the distributors in the area. The third level of this model is that we're offering a sustainable product. By offering a biodegradable, low cost, low price, and high quantity product, we both offering economic and environmental sustainability. So when we built these models, we really thought about what our customers think buying these products. So to the left is a woman with a stable job and stable income. So she would want a safe product from a trusted partner. She also cares about the environment and also the crisis of her country. So Pure happens to answer all these questions. But on the right is a woman who doesn't earn as much money, but she also wants to provide for her kids. So when she goes to the hospital and deliver her baby, if the first thing you get from the hospital is a Pure product, you would instantly be able to develop a brand loyalty to Pure. And so she keep buying these products at supermarkets because it's really accessible and it's really low cost. And so moving on to marketing, when we enter the market, we really want to gain immediate acceptance from the community. By offering low cost and high quantity products, we're directly responding to the shortage of product volumes and sizes that the market is struggling with. And then after gaining the acceptance, we are trying to build a long-term brand stability. By not only heavy promoting on biodegradable products, we're also trying to establish a relationship with the community by giving hospitals a heavy discount if they send the moms home with a Pure package that will allow us to build more brand loyalty. And then moving on to pricing strategy, as Lauren mentioned, we know that now account receivable are not allowed in Venezuela anymore, so we'll require distributors to pay directly to us in dollars or in bolivars that will exchange into dollars. And then by offering distributors the freedom to charge their own price or even to barter if they have a need or strategy for it, we are trying to eliminate the black markets. And then just last month, President Nicolas Maduro passed a policy that raised the price ceiling, which allowed businesses to charge higher prices, and this would really help us to enter the market and just contact these distributors. And also another policy was that he passed a policy that allow businesses to go to banks and take up to $500 US, and this will also allow easier market transactions. And next, Cole will briefly discuss the next steps.
Yeah, in year 1, we want to focus on relief. We know that when Eric Gomez was first spearheading this plan, he wanted to have a product that would help the humanitarian crisis in Venezuela. We believe that by having discounted prices as well as a supply that lasts all across the country, we believe that more people have access to diapers that didn't before. In year 2 through year 5, we want to focus on profitability, knowing that we do not want to have this product operate at a loss. While being profitable, we will ease back on the funding that we're receiving from our donors, eventually becoming fully self-sustainable. And in order to increase this profitability, we'll increase sales as well as word of mouth marketing to get the word out across the whole country. In year 5 through year 10, we want to focus on development, putting to good use that investment that was given to us in the beginning. We believe that diapers in themselves are a tool of development in that they offer education for potty training. We want to partner with the mothers even before they give birth in the 9 months prior, to where they're able to work with hospital clinics and know more about the motherhood process and get them aware of Pura even at that point to have greater loyalty. As well as even are considering a subscription model where people could buy the diapers for their next month right away, would be used more in other Latin American countries to where you can know where your supply is coming from. Going forward, we know that there are some risks going into this market. The first risk is that this is a new industry for us. In the past, we've only worked with the consumer packaged goods. However, knowing that Max Inter-Americas was able to get over 50% market share in Latin America, as well as the fact that we are even considering and trying to expand into the cannabis industry, we think that this is an industry that we could expand into. Another risk is the price ceilings, or that Nicolas Maduro could put price ceilings in at any time. However, we believe that through our subscriptions as well as flexible pricing, we could mitigate some of that risk. Another risk that could come would be through the black market. We know that the black market is very prevalent and is only rising. However, we believe that we are able to mitigate that, and that Latin Americans and Venezuelans in particular would rather buy their diapers legally. And the final risk that we see is that it's difficult to do business in Venezuela. We know that they rank 188th in terms of ease of doing business. However, we actually see this as a competitive advantage in that if we're able to be the first mover back into the industry, other players won't be as likely to be able to jump in. Going forward, we're going to talk about how what some next steps could be, how this could be a launching pad for us going forward. We immediately see us expanding into other Latin American countries outside of just Venezuela. We see Ecuador and Peru as great next fits, given the fact they only have 30% penetration in the diaper industry. We also want to expand that subscription model to those Latin American countries who have higher income and could afford that subscription. We also want to expand into the feminine hygiene products. We know that Kotex is already a brand that we have with Kimberly-Clark, and would be eager to expand that given the increase in that industry. And as well, we just want to partner with Kimberly-Clark to have other opportunities where they could get their brand out there and increase loyalty, possibly even bundling products. While we would not recommend bundling cannabis with baby diapers, we would possibly recommend bundling the feminine products with baby diapers, and think that that could be good to do. Finally, we want to talk about how this could be a sustainable competitive advantage going forward. In order for it to be sustainable, the first thing is that it must be valuable. We know this is valuable in that our high profit margins. It then must be rare. We know this because there's a low supply. To then be a competitive advantage, it must be inimitable, not easily copied, and we believe that because of how hard it is to do business in Venezuela, it will be inimitable. And finally, it must be unused and organizational. We believe that because of our great business processes and relations with our customers, that we're able to do this. We hope you enjoyed this presentation and got a lot of insights from it, and that you are so excited about this product that you need to change your own diaper. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to go to the judges for their assessments and Q&A.
Thank you. Where did you come up with the 80 count cell unit?
So, if I can get to it, come on now. Okay, so in developing this pricing model, we looked at both the packaging sizes offered in the US for the main brands of Huggies, Loves, and Pampers. Granted, the US offers a great variety in packaging sizes. And then we also looked at, with the information provided to us, the international bundles of these different brands. And looking at that, we kind of try to find like a middle ground, what was most common, because we also don't want too big of a package because it'll be more expensive, and I doubt that the Venezuelans can afford in massive bulk, say like in Costco sizes. Additionally, looking at the annual diaper usage, the rest of Latin America uses around 900 to 1,000 diapers per year. And so kind of dividing that, trying to break it down into a monthly amount, we get close to the 80. And so basically our idea in creating the 80 per package is let's give them a month's supply.
How long would you think that it would take you to generate the funds initially?
We built to our timeline assuming that we could get this out by 2020. We definitely do know that it could take a while to make this partnership. However, given the fact that we are for profit and Venezuela is not accepting any aid, So this would be the only way that we could even help. And we think that partnering with the foundations that we talked about, they'd be very eager to help. And because we are for profit, but also want to use those profits to give back in terms of development, we think we could raise the funds pretty quickly, especially with the groups who already do have a lot of money. So we estimated that it would take less than a year. But obviously, it's an assumption and it could be different. But we think that especially just because we have this unique advantage in that we are for profit but want to give back, Venezuela would be open to partnering with us because they're a little bit reluctant to aid. We think we have a good chance to get a lot of donations.
Last thing, is there currently a subscription program out there right now?
Not that we know of for diapers. We know that subscription models have been tried out in Latin America. There was even a shoe subscription model that was tried out and was able to have some success. So we know this is something that was growing, and we see all the time Netflix, Gym Pass, like it's just a rising trend. And we think that it could be something that could be an advantage, maybe even in the U.S., but we didn't find any in our research. Yeah.
My question was also, great job, by the way. My question was also regarding the subscription model. And what consumer segment do you see is going to bite at that? And what are the payment models?
Yeah, so it would be a monthly payment model, and initially we are pricing these towards the 20% of people in Venezuela who could be affording these diapers in these large amounts. So that's our main target market. But based on this subscription model, we wanted to do a monthly subscription in the case that there might be infant mortality rates. We know that that is a high factor in Venezuela currently. So if we were to implement this sooner, we'd want to do 1 month, and that way moms can pull out or gain additional diapers if they need more.
And just to go a little bit deeper, we think in the U.S. this could have a ton of options for growth, mobile apps, just even using it. We're the market of people who have that luxury and don't want to take the time going out to the store. However, in Latin America, with that technology question, the blackouts that are even happening, we see this more as where you could go to the clinic, have the subscription, like a constant flow coming through, and even just as a test trial to them where we could use in the other markets that we would want to expand Pura to.
Okay, my last question is, what do you see is MaxiNet's single biggest challenge in this endeavor?
Venezuela is just incredibly unpredictable and unstable, and so definitely it's a challenging idea for them to say, let's enter this market. There is opportunity, but I think so many things can be shaken up if tomorrow President Maduro says, let's get this price ceilings back, especially being a U.S. Based company. Venezuela does not love the U.S. that much, and so already having tough relationships with Venezuela, I think, is a huge challenge. But I think to be successful, both for encouraging Kimberly-Clark to partner as well as MaxiNet with their returns and results, is that I think to be successful needs to be a humanitarian first, CSR mentality of our ultimate goal is to help and relieve these people, and then secondly it should be but let's also try to profit and grow from this.
So given that risk, what would you consider as a solution if Maduro does change his policies tomorrow and puts in price ceilings? What would you offer, for example, Kimberly-Clark, in terms of a long-term solution to mitigate that?
Yeah, so Kimberly-Clark, this is an awesome opportunity either way because they're developing a new product that could be really feasible in the US or other markets, not just Venezuela. So they could go ahead and do market research in another Latin American country if they wanted. But if Maduro went ahead and raised price ceilings tomorrow, then that's where kind of our relationships with these distributors is still very applicable because we can go ahead and distribute to these grocery stores and the clinics and give them our products for this base American price, and then they can trade it however they want. They can do bartering, they can do exchanges, however they want to price it, they have the freedom to do so.
And what's special about Kimberly-Clark besides their history in Venezuela?
Yeah, so they currently don't have a product on the shelf that would be competing with, say, a P&G Loves. So they have a stake in this, and they would really want to create a product that could compete with Loves and gain market share on that. Additionally, they are increasing their corporate social responsibility, and so the opportunity to partner with you guys and go into Venezuela would set them apart and give them marketing materials.
For the fundraising sources that aren't corporate, how are you alleviating the donation versus profitability mix?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the fact that we have to be for-profit in the sense that they are reluctant to aid, but we also want to just reiterate how important it is to be upfront and transparent with what we're trying to do, as well as that we are trying to use our profits to give back to the community. And then even with the sense that in the year 2 through year 5, easing back while we are making more profit so that it's not them still pouring in while we're reaping the benefits, and then even for the benefits that we're having, giving back to the community. So I think just even from the branding perspective, how we're positioning ourselves and coming off as, yeah, we are for profit and being upfront about that because that's where companies have had some issues. And then using those profits to give back to the community would be the most helpful front.
So from a mechanical sense, how are you justifying taking a donation and then quote unquote reaping the benefits?
Yeah, so, well, the value proposition to Kimberly-Clark is that this is a starting point. So no, I don't think that Kimberly-Clark will gain much benefit or profit from...
So from Kimberly-Clark, it's an investment. What about the NGOs and the other sources you had?
Yeah. For the NGOs, it's an opportunity for them to use their aid to break into Venezuela because currently the aid restrictions don't allow them to. So they're funneling their money into an organization that they're passionate about. Diapers help provide child safety, and they provide a better tomorrow for Venezuela and South America. So both of them are really reaping benefits.
How are we on time? Done? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, curious creators.
Thank you.